Good evening.
Hi,
Hi there.
how are you?
Oh, pretty tired.
Yeah.
Long days. This is my third Zoom today.
Oh, good night.
I know it is a good night. I hope to go to bed.
Me too. I said I was like, this has been one of the longest days of my life.
Oh, really? Try and get this position. Have another. Oh, let's see.
Just grateful for all of you being here tonight.
Yes.
So we about a minute and we'll get started.
Oh, now how do they?
It is 6 o'clock. Do we have everybody on tonight? Okay,
I'm just grabbing my glasses.
No, we're missing quite a few people.
we're
missing
missing some
you.
people. Let's wait a couple minutes before I call the meeting to order.
I think we're missing Christopher and Dylan.
Yes. We're missing Christopher.
Ashley.
She's not going to be on tonight.
Oh, she's not coming. Okay.
Yes, she has prior commitment, so she'll be missing. So if we have, we actually have a quorum now, but I'll wait a minute or so to give
Okay.
Christopher and Dylan a chance to come on. We're just glad to have everybody here. Did everybody get a chance to review the recording that we did last week on Bridging the Divide?
Yeah, I saw a part of it. I didn't get the whole thing done, but yeah.
Okay.
Had a
Okay.
good
Well,
idea.
you do know
was
you
good.
have it available to you, so
Mhm.
it would be good if you took a look at it.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
was a wonderful experience.
I sent it to a couple sisters too.
Yeah, I
That-
think we did have a couple on
Yeah. That's
on
nice.
Thursday. So okay. Well, it's 6:02. I think I'll call the meeting to order at 6:02, and we'll start with the roll call. If Lindsay would do the roll call for us.
Mayor Heath,
Present.
Commissioner Bernard,
Present.
Commissioner Ramos.
Present.
I'm present. Commissioner Frank is absent, but excused, correct?
excused, yes.
Okay. Commissioner Boone,
Present.
Commissioner Barron. Absent. Correct. Commissioner Barron is absent.
At this time, yes.
Okay. Commissioner Carter. Absent, I take it. And Commissioner Harvett.
Present.
All right, we're going to have a motion for the acceptance of the agenda tonight. I need a motion for that.
Commissioner Boone, I motion that the agenda for the pre-meeting for November 24th, be accepted.
Commissioner Ramos, I second.
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded that we accept the agenda for this evening. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Did I have any nays? So approved. All right, a motion to accept the minutes from our October meeting, October 27th.
I motion to accept the minutes.
Commissioner Boone, I second.
Can we do it with necessary corrections if anyone has any corrections?
Commissioner Patton with necessary corrections.
You have some corrections?
No, I'm saying with necessary corrections.
No, the person that made the motion is the one that would have to say it.
I would like to add necessary corrections as we find them.
And it was second by,
Commissioner Boone.
thank you. It is motion to accept the minutes from the October 27th meeting with necessary corrections. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any nays? Okay, so moved. All right, we're going to go into our agenda today. We're going to talk about the completion of the 2020 calendar of events. The only thing that we have left on the calendar for this next month and also the next couple of months would be to consider having the town hall meeting. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later. We do have one thing still left to do for this December 1st, and we will talk and discuss that in a little bit. Did anyone else have anything else that they would like us to add to the calendar of events that we're not addressing yet? If not, hearing none, then we'll go on. Our special speaker, we were going to be inviting the mayor's friend to come and talk about homelessness. And she's from out of state. And I don't know where we are with that, Mayor, if you would let us know. If
Yeah,
that's
she
possible.
with there was a lot of changes in Chicago, actually preceding our changes here. And there's been a lot of COVID cases there, and it has overwhelmed them at their Breakthrough Urban Ministries right now. She just said she did not have time right now. It was partly because
Right.
of that. Chicago
Right.
really got hit pretty hard a few weeks ahead of us, where it really started hitting them. They started closing restaurants ahead of us and everything, but it was hitting their community pretty hard too. So she was down on staff and things like that. So she said she will really try for the next one, but this was just too crazy with being short staffed with COVID and everything going on, and they were trying to scramble to get care for people and services and things they needed to try to help people with. So
And Mayor, can you just tell me who that person was?
The name.
her name is Arloa Sutter,
Can you
and
spell her?
it's called Breakthrough Urban Ministries.
Mm.
She's the founder. She began it actually in a church that I attended there in Chicago, but then it has now since become way bigger than a shelter. So that's what it started out just as a food pantry and shelter, and it's grown into they've changed locations, and they're actually more in the heart of where the majority of the homeless were. And, I mean, there were a lot in our neighborhood when we started that, but now they've moved to where where the need was greater. They actually had moved areas, and now it's a huge, and like I said, they have a huge like transitioning back into, and helping them with jobs and interviews and things like that, as well as, clothing, work appropriate clothing, and just housing help and everything. They kind of do it all. They even have now they have a really strong tutoring service, but I know they were looking at, because of all this virtual schooling, doing some schooling there, because a lot of them don't have obviously internet and things like that. That's another thing that she's taken on, which has also been why they've been really taking on the whole schooling aspect of it. So they've almost become a school in themselves, just trying to, they're not, because they're working with Chicago Public, but they've got them there to make sure they're getting the schooling they need, and they're getting to those virtual classrooms.
Well, let her know that we are really appreciative of her wanting to be a part of giving us information and helping us. And she can do that in the future. We will not be having a meeting in December,
Right.
so maybe by January.
I told her that, and she said she felt like January it was going to kind of come down. I mean, they do a lot too with the holidays. This is like their pride. She said without COVID, this is their busiest time. And I remember that from helping alongside of her before, that this can be one of their busiest times right now. But she felt like she could probably tackle that later in January.
Well, we definitely appreciate that, and let her know whenever she can come on. We would love to have her in our pre-meeting, and then we can go from there. So if you would just extend that invitation to her. And is everyone okay with us doing that way?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. It sounds like she has a lot going. And I know even the beginning of the year, it's going to be some other challenges that not only she has, but that we're having, because I just received some calls even today about some situations getting food to people. I thank God that I have some people that are willing to continue helping in that area. So let's remember that, and we will look forward to her coming at a later date. All right, our next consideration is the review of the forum for bridging the divide that we had on last week. I just want to say to the mayor how much I appreciate how she handled the beginning of it. In fact, the whole entire event was very successful in my eyes, but I'd like to hear from each one of you to give a little bit of review of what you thought. And let's start with the mayor.
I thought it went very well. I felt that, the public that was on there that had questions, they were able to ask those questions and get them answered. And I felt like it started to open up that communication that needs to be opened up, obviously. And that was said by, I know, Sheriff Revere and other people that were saying that there seems to be more communication like this. And I know that I did reach out to thank Judge Anzalone and also to Bert Castleberry and to our police chief Emmerich and to the sheriff. And they all responded back that they thought it was just a very good first meeting, and they want to continue, and they are excited about the future, and they do want to continue. They all four expressed that to me, because I individually gave them thank yous, and they came back to me right away saying how excited they were by that, and they thought it just ran really well, and people were receptive to it. The other thing that I have also heard is I noticed there were students on there, and I wasn't sure why. Well, I found out later that Sienna Heights classes, several of them, they could use that as
Yes,
an assignment.
yes,
And not just from Judge Joe Costello's classes. They used it for a diversity assignment for some other classes. I didn't realize it had been shared with them. And I actually had students reach out to me all weekend asking, hey, I couldn't get back on after the Zoom bombing incident or whatever that, whatever reason, or we couldn't watch it, I had to work or whatever. Is there a link? And so I shared the link with them, and they've all been getting back to me and saying, giving feedback to me. And the students, quite a few of them, they're from different areas. Quite a few of them that have responded to me are from the Detroit area. And they have, we wish our communities would have this kind of dialogue. We wish we have so much more respect for Adrian and where we're going to school, and that we just have a lot more respect that the police and the sheriff and the judicial system are willing to field these questions and have this dialogue and work to make it better here. And they were very impressed, and they wish their communities were doing it as well. So I did get that feedback from students as well, since there were quite a few either on that night or ones that I shared the link with that asked for it. So
that was fantastic. And Mayor, we have reached out to some other communities closer to Detroit that are thinking about doing this. So we want to thank you for allowing us to be able to do this. Okay, other commissioners, what comments do you have? You want me to go down the list? Commissioner Ramos, you want to start?
Oh, I suppose. I think it went fairly well. I am a little bit disappointed that we couldn't get more people in, but of course there was the incident, so it's understandable. We have the video. I think it's on YouTube, so it should be pretty easy for a lot of people to find. And of course, I'll be sharing the video. But I think it went pretty well for a first meeting. I definitely look forward to the continuations. I don't suppose I have a whole lot more to say about it.
So what did you think about, do you think it was worth the time, or that is something maybe, like we're saying, it's a bridge towards the next step that we need to take? What do you
I
think
think it
about
was a
that?
good event. I just think that it's going to be more exciting to also see the future events that sprout off of it.
Yes.
We definitely managed to make some progress.
Indeed. All right. Commissioner Lindsay was not able to participate, but did you get a chance to look at any of it?
Yes, not all of it, but the question that you just asked Joaquin in regards to what can we do next, I feel like we should have a follow-up. So I feel like we should be thinking about that. I thought it went very well, first of all. So good job. I commend everybody. But also, I think we should be thinking about a follow-up at some point, because then we'll get more people involved. We'll have more time to think about how we can get the community involved, and then go from there.
Thank you for those comments. Commissioner Boone.
I thought that the meeting was good. There were some youth that I did notice from my church that was on as well, and I'm looking to have some follow-up dialogue with them at the next team meeting that we have to discuss their findings and what they thought of it. But just to have this format available and to begin it, I think is a good first start. To open up that dialogue where the community can have some discussion with the police, and as a result have some of their fears calmed, and have a lot of questions that are floating around the community, and people are receiving the wrong answers, but to kind of hear from the horse's mouth, and just to have that dialogue open, I think is a really good positive first start. Wish we could have it in person, but I know at some point that will happen. But
Yeah.
to have it, but just to have it is good. It is good, and just that for the ones. And I know sometimes we want more, but I believe that as we continue, we'll find that it will grow.
It will. It will. Thank you for those comments. Sister Pat, you were in part of it,
Right.
or did you
I
get a
was in
chance to
part of it,
review it?
yeah. I saw
Mhm.
about 20 minutes and then I had to run to the vigil for the deceased sister. But it was very engaging. I thought the questions were good. I looked at them again the other day and I thought, okay, and the answers I found interesting as far as the diversity, and how many females are are around doing these things. So that was good. I would really agree. We do need to have follow up. I think it's hard to just do one thing and then it's like, okay, that's done. I think there has to be a progression and a deepening of those relationships. It's kind of
Right.
like the first part of getting to know anybody is cordial, but then you have to, get into things. And so I would hope we could have a follow-up meeting, similar format. And I think we're doing our work as a commission, as you said, Mayor, building those relationships and in the cities so that people are not fearful and people can put a face on these folks that are in charge. I was very impressed with each of those folks. And their commitment to the city
Mhm.
was fascinating. I mean, you can tell it's like this isn't just a job. They really believe in the city. They believe in the community and the people, and that's important for us to hear.
Yes,
Mhm.
most definite. Uh, did you want to say anything else, Mayor, about that? Okay. I just want to share with you all that the mayor was able to let us do comments at the end because it was a public meeting. We were trying not to have an explosive kind of conversation, but have it calm, have it informative. And even with the questions that came out or comments that the commissioners had, it all sort of fit together. And so it let us know that not everything is, not everyone is controversial. Not everyone is trying to stir uh, differences they're trying to build. And I want to thank each of you for, being a part of it. And if you haven't had a chance to see the whole entire event, please take the time to do that. Michelle Dewey has put it on for us. You have a link to it and you would be able to see it and spread it around. I've had people that weren't able to be on for whatever reason, and I've sent it to them to listen to and to get that fresh view of what we are trying to accomplish. And I think as long as we keep the focus, it's not about us individually, it's about the community and how we can build greater things even with each other, that we can make it better. So if there be no other comments on the meeting on the forum last week, Bridging the Divide, I'm just excited about even saying Bridging the Divide. It really turned out well. I would like the mayor, if we could send a letter or email to each of our participants and have all the names of the commissioners on it, would be nice. And I would like you all to agree that we would send a letter or of appreciation to each one of them, since we can't be together and hand it to them. But I would like the mayor to give it to each of our participants. Is that an agreement that all of you would think would be good?
Yes, I love
Yeah,
the idea.
I do too.
Okay. Okay.
I think also, I should send one from Human Relations Commission to Joe Costello as well for being the moderator.
Well, we
Yeah.
definitely need to do it to the moderator as
Thank you.
well, because
Yep.
he worked really, really hard with me and you to make sure that we were having the kind of dialogue that we needed to have. And he contacted them individually and made sure that they could be participants. So I definitely want him to have a letter as well. So thank you, commissioners. I think that consent would be given to you, Mayor. And whenever you get it done, just let us have a CC so we can actually see what you send out. I appreciate it so much. All right, our next event is going to be December the 1st. And Mayor, she is totally in charge of this meeting. We're going to be a part of it. Pastor Boone, Pastor Carter, and myself are pastors. We also have our church memberships, pastors, senior pastors that are going to be on. We have about 13 or 14. We can invite more if you would like, Mayor. We can invite more pastors to be on since it's on Zoom. Everybody won't be able to speak, but they can be knowledgeable of it. If you have someone, if you send me the email or send it to the mayor, we can get the invitation to
Mhm.
them. But I needed your permission, Mayor, if
Yeah,
you
that's
wanted
fine.
to
Now that it's
increase it.
Zoom, it won't be an
Mhm.
issue. I know we were worried before because we had parameters of numbers that we had to have in there and we had those restrictions, but now that it's Zoom, it's unlimited. So that's perfectly fine.
So
Yep.
do you think maybe what we should do is have an invitation um, on the radio? If you wanted to, we could,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that is the right avenue or if we
well, we can keep it this time. We can keep it where we contact pastors and then they contact you. And we can have it, the invitation sent to them, or they can contact me and we
Mhm.
just give an invitation, because we really actually have 14 pastors right now.
Were you
There were a
able
couple.
to get that sent to Father at the Holy Family Parish?
I've been calling, but
Okay.
I have his personal number. So what I'm going to do is
Okay.
each of the ones that I have cell phones for, I'm going to send it out to them on
Okay, thank
a
you. Since
text.
his email
Yes,
kicked back, his is the only email that kicked back, but I knew
right.
that that wasn't
And
correct since it kicked back. So,
yeah, and the one that you had is the one that I have. So
okay, okay.
we probably won't be able to get in touch with them until Monday.
Mhm.
So, but I will text them this weekend. And if they don't get back with me, we'll have who we have, you
Yep.
know. So, and I really appreciate all of that. You're setting up um, the outline of how it's going to go. We're just, all of you HRC members can be on as well if you would
Oh,
like.
good.
Um, you
It's
know,
a Zoom link. We can share it with
yes,
you. That's
Good.
yes.
Yeah.
So we will share the link when Michelle sends it out. And
Okay.
you definitely can be a part of listening in to hear what the pastors are saying or not saying. Sometimes you can have a dialogue with them after it's over, because it's only an hour meeting. So we
And
just
what
want to
time does
make
it
sure.
start?
It starts at noon,
Noon.
12 noon to 1 o'clock. And we don't want to expand it, all right, this first meeting. And not all of them will probably get a chance to give us all their input, but they're willing to work with the city and the mayor. So
Great.
that's the good part. That's the
Yeah,
great
that's
part.
wonderful.
All right. Now our next discussion is the town hall meeting. I put a couple dates down for you all to think about. If those are not good dates, we could talk a little bit about it and change those dates. And the two that I came up with for January was January the 14th. And that would be a Thursday evening. And hopefully that doesn't conflict with you all. and that town hall meeting is something that we'll have to put together pretty quick. So,
And the January one, I was at City Hall this afternoon and we were discussing it. And
mhm,
we feel very concerned that there is no way a town hall will be able to be up running by then because of COVID restrictions.
okay, okay,
We feel very concerned. We're concerned even with February, but we feel like we should plan
Yeah.
February. And then if
okay.
it changes, because a lot could change by then. But
Yeah.
just from everything we're hearing, I would be
Mhm.
very concerned with the January date.
Okay.
That
I would
that
too.
Or
anything would
anything in
be enough for
January.
us by
Okay.
then with restrictions, just from what
Okay.
we're hearing. So
Okay, so why don't we, for our January meeting, which will be the 26th, that we finalize everything for a town hall in February. We may not have this particular date of February. I put the 18th down, which is going to be, after Valentine's Day. But that would give us time to organize it a little bit better if we did have a meeting before we did the town hall. So, what is your pleasure? We don't have to set the exact day right now, but think about it. The 18th was a tentative date. And so we're going to have the mayor take a look at things that's going on at City Hall so that we're not in conflict. And so by January's meeting, we nail it down completely. How about that?
So we're canceling the January 14th one?
Yes, that
Yeah.
was a suggestion. But since the mayor is saying that, in January it's kind of hard to put something together, we don't have another meeting until January after that date. So for us to organize it and talk about it and plan it really like we need to, we need that extra meeting. Okay? So it's all in agreement with that?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay, so a tentative date, February 18th, which would be a Thursday as well. That's a tentative date. And so
Okay.
we will solidify it, put it on your calendar though.
Yeah.
And if there is a conflict, please let me or the mayor know because she will be keeping up with what we can and cannot do. And even whether it's a Zoom meeting or in-person meeting, by then we may know something, we may not, but we're going to plan on a Zoom meeting. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Any other questions concerning the town hall, the first town hall that we have? Okay. All right. The next one is picking up the brochures. I think because of what's going on right now, Michelle, Dewey, can you speak on whether or not they were able to be printed up?
No, I haven't printed any. I still just need to know how
Okay.
many you would like.
Okay, well, why don't we wait until January to get that done? This is the holiday time,
Yeah.
and we're not really out and about passing them out really that much, right? So let's consent to wait until January, and then we'll work on back about how many we need and how are we going to pick that up. Is that okay with you, Michelle Dewey?
Yep, that's fine. It shouldn't be a long turnaround time at all. So once you
Okay.
figure out how many you need, just let me know.
Okay, we really appreciate that so much. All right, the next is the commissioner reports. I know we haven't been able to do a lot because of the pandemic, getting out and about, but we do have a few people that have made contact in the community. Lindsay is one of them, Lindsay Patton, commissioner who has been working with this homeless shelter. If you'd just like to share a little bit about what you're doing, Commissioner Patton, and tell us what you would like us to try to think about during this holiday time.
Well, I'm doing the activities down at Share the Warmth and actually having a fun time doing it. We played bingo last Tuesday. And so I had about 7 or 8 folks after breakfast. They joined me in the, I guess, in the basement of the Moose, where they have their kitchen area, and they eat breakfast. And Helen had purchased items. So when they received a bingo, they were able to pick from healthy snacks or from adult coloring books, word puzzles, a, a variety of prizes. And so I'm hopefully going to go back down next week and get back to doing activities. We've made a list of ideas, so now it's just implementing them. And if you folks would like to donate anything or even come down and volunteer, that would be appreciated.
Oh, we appreciate it. Now that they're in 24 hours, 7 days a week now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Correct.
the shelter is open and
24/7.
available
Yes.
24/7. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So thank you for that report. Anyone else have a report that they would like to give us on the area that they've been working on?
Well, I have the area of mental health with the schools. So as far as I got all of the names and phone numbers of like the superintendent and the principals, I need to contact them, but it's been kind of busy. So, but I will during these coming weeks. So should lessen up a bit. But I know just in general, mental health is a disaster, whether it's here or anywhere else. We know of people who have committed suicide, that have been severely depressed, that have asked the sisters to pray for family members who have committed suicide. So this is a pretty serious problem out there.
If you, Sister Pat, and
Mhm.
another person that you may want to reach out to, and I know he's super busy, but I know he expressed a lot of concern about that, was Bert Castleberry, our county prosecutor.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
he did.
He
Yes,
Oh,
he
did.
brought that up in
Mhm.
Bridging the Divide, and he is very
Mhm.
concerned about mental health and
Okay.
programs. And so I think he might be, it might be somebody in his office that would work
Yeah.
with you, but I still feel like there could be a connection there because he did
Yes.
express that, and I know that's a big concern.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you. I definitely will.
he did. And all of us are going to be dealing with it because every year we're dealing with it during the Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday time. And now we add the pandemic along with
Exactly.
that. We definitely have some challenges. We do have people that are actually facing death in a different way
Yeah.
than they have in the past as well. I got a call the other day that 6 members of one family
Oh,
have been um, died from actually uh, being
oh,
part of the COVID. I'm truly grateful because me and my husband both have experienced the COVID now, and other members of my family in other
yeah.
states, not here in Michigan, but outside of the state. So I know all of us know somebody that's connected to somebody that is challenged right now. And what we have to do is try to find a way to encourage people. I know sometimes I'm having a hard time breathing and it's hard to talk sometimes, but I tell you, sometimes I have to talk to people to get them off of the edge
Mhm.
and try to help during this time because these are harder times for some than others. Some can handle it a little bit better than others. So let's
Mhm.
just think about that. We're praying, and I'm asking everybody that I know to pray for people. And if you know of anyone, if you can
Uh-huh.
share a gift card or you can share something to relieve some of the pressure. I
Right.
know some people needed food, and I was able to send someone down to get more food just for this week People are telling me about folks that I didn't have a clue that were homeless now, that have never had that experience. And I know Commissioner Ramos talked a lot about being in that situation. He understands that some of us have never experienced it. However, some of us have. And we just need to share. Be careful when you're sharing that you don't overdo it, but be sensitive to the young people as well. Now, Sister Harvette, you must know the high schools have been closed, the
Right.
colleges have been closed.
And
So the
colleges,
older young people are
Right.
having a greater challenge than some of the younger ones.
right.
So we just really need to think about that. And maybe what we need to do is have some Zoom meetings with them and talk to young people, see what's
True.
on their minds and on their hearts, and not always telling them what to do. You
Right.
know, giving them some options of what, and they may even have some options of what they would like to do. So maybe what we have to do is think about some of that as well.
I have a
So
question.
yes, sir.
Um, I have a situation. I had a situation. Sorry, situation over this past weekend where a young man um, was with me who kind of lost control of his mental capacities, and I took him up to ProMedica to receive treatment because, well, he was just kind of he was out of touch with reality. Is the best way to put it. He thought things were taking place around him that was not taking place around him. I took him to the hospital to get some help, and they said that there was really nothing they could do. And after being at the hospital for about a half an hour, like I think it was up about an hour, they released him back to me. And my concern was, what 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 did they expect my steps to be
Right.
with a person that
Mm,
is dealing, that has this mental thing going on, and I know the gentleman very well, and he his mind is taken him to a place that he believes he was being chased and was actually running through cornfields.
mm,
Us folks were chasing him. So when I coached him to come to me, to where I could sit and talk with him, my next step was to take him to the local hospital to see if there was any treatment or anything. And this was after hours, so community mental health was not an option. And the emergency room attendant and the doctor working on staff, they said there's nothing that's able to be provided for this young man. And I said,
Huh.
so my question was, well, what do I do?
Yeah.
And he just came up to me and said, we really don't know.
well, let me just say, Mayor, you were getting ready to say something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, D'Angelo, that's the same story I've had twice now out of different people, family members that have come into my office and said there needs to be something for mental health. It's literally almost the exact same. I mean, it's not the exact same story, but they've gone to
Thanks, Mayor.
ProMedica and been told, oh, after like an hour, well, you're gonna have to take them, and there's nothing we can do. And I will tell you, other people have told me that I know that work there at ProMedica, that they just have no options for mental health. Like it wasn't built in, like
Right.
when they took it away from Herrick, they
Right.
didn't have, there is nothing in our area. Like we really are like a mental health
Mhm.
land of nothing, unfortunately,
Vacuum.
for any help. It's
Right.
I don't have an answer, but unfortunately, I've heard the same thing. I literally had a family member in my office. This was before we went back into heavy restrictions, literally crying, and it was a man crying because his brother like had addiction issues as well, and he couldn't even get that fixed. But like literally, people were chasing him, and this is what he was saying. A lot of what you're saying, and there was no options. ProMedica turned them away. And so this is, and I think Bert Castleberry, that's why I said that, he's aware of that. I mean, I feel like our judicial system, from talking to quite a few of them, they're aware of that. They think there's an issue. And that is actually why you're seeing possibly an increase in cases or people doing things so that maybe they can get the help they need through the judicial system because they don't know what else to do. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's what's happening because they don't know. There really hasn't been there's just not, ever since ProMedica took it out of Herrick, that we've
Yeah.
seen a big uptick in issues like this. And it's really, and it's all after hours, but like, what are people supposed to do? And like, especially in your case, you're not even a family member. Like,
Right. Right.
yeah.
Well, there's a couple of things that I would recommend, and that is to, as a pastor, and all of us as leaders in this community, we need to find out what resources that are beyond ProMedica, because they actually took it away because they don't want to deal with it.
Right.
That is something that they have been planning for a long time. They did away with it at that level, and law enforcement has had to deal with it. And that is one of the things that we did not really get deep into, is the mental illness of people that are approached by law enforcement or have to deal with mentally challenged individuals. So one of the things that I have done is made sure that my reservoir of resources is outside of Lenawee County. And I did have a young lady just a couple of weeks ago. She broke down on the highway. So we had to get her help in another county. And they did have resources, but they only keep you 3 days if you volunteer to go in. So you have to still have a doctor that will, make sure that that person gets long-term care. So what we need to do is maybe find out some of the resources that we can extend to individuals. And all of us know that because we're going to be dealing with that. That's one of the questions that I would bring up to some of the pastors, because they have to deal with them on a regular basis. And that's something that our church, I know me personally, have had to deal with it, but I had some options because I worked in corrections, and I knew that mental health for individuals were changing when the state of Michigan got rid of most of the mental hospitals, most of the mental uh, avenues of assistance. And so what we have to do is get with our legislators, and that's one of the things that I'm working with one of the groups down in Wayne County to try to get our governor and some of our legislators to make some changes on mental health, because we do have that issue.
What I
If
don't
I can,
understand is, like, Hillsdale is a smaller community, and I don't know if that's just because it's not through ProMedica or what, but I know that they have a treatment.
Yes,
Like,
they do.
I know that because I know people that have gone there or had family
Yes.
members that have gone there.
Yes.
Maybe that's something we try to, maybe we look into it, like find out what some of these other areas, like how are
Yes.
they getting these resources? Like, I think Monroe has one too. Like, how are they getting
Monroe,
these resources?
Kalamazoo,
And how are they,
Toledo.
yeah, how are we getting these treatment, and why are we becoming like this abyss of no help for mental health in our area, but around us people have it, and we're a bigger community, not than Monroe, but than we are than Hillsdale. So I was surprised when I know that I had somebody close to me that needed to go to Hillsdale, and that was the best option, and that's where they went. And I was shocked when they told me Hillsdale had something, because we don't have something here. And
Well, Hillsdale always had it when even it was in Tecumseh. So Hillsdale is an older group, and they actually have a college that is not sponsored by any state facility at all. So they have money, and they have options, and they have students. And just like we have them here, because a lot of the students we had to put in Herrick Hospital from Adrian, Siena, and well, Jackson College, not so much, but the two resident colleges and universities. So it's something that we need to think about, and we need to, try to have some resources available in our in our reservoir so that we can refer people. But even sometimes, even with the hospital, I take people to St. Joe's or Ann Arbor when I know that the challenge may not be that they can be assisted here. And it's unfortunate that we don't have more in Adrian, but that's not our biggest challenge. Our biggest challenge is getting people to help assist individuals like you did, Commissioner Boone. Don't turn him away. You took him, you tried, and then you had to address it. And it's something that we do in this community, especially the pastors. Um, and so, and it isn't always successful because they need long term. So that's something that we have to think about, especially during this holiday time. You know, last winter I had people walking from the hospital. The hospital actually released them in sub-zero weather to walk home. Just that is devastating, you know. And so they call us in the middle of the night. You know, it's just good I was close enough. And if I wasn't, I would have went and got them. So it's times that we have to step outside of our comfort zone, get resources, find out how many people that we can get on board with helping not only the homeless, but the mentally challenged individuals. So that's something that we're going to think about. We have about 10 minutes left before our pre-meeting is up. And I would, you know, if there's any other comments about this, we can talk a little bit more. And then we want to open it up for public comments. Any other comments on this?
I was just going to mention that for those to just have for people to know that there is a hospital in Marshall, Michigan, that will take the ones
Yeah.
with mental issues and
Okay.
hold them for 1 to 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that's with a doctor's permission. Doctor signing, or a social worker or psychologist putting them in. Now the individual can go in for 3 or 4 days on their own. And sometimes you may have to talk them into at least starting it off that way. But then again, we're dealing with people that have insurance and those that don't have insurance. So those are other challenges to come with. But thank you so much for that, because I actually, one of the people that I was having problems this past weekend ended up in Marshall. So yes, we really do need to think about that, because that is a challenge for our community and the citizens of our community. And some of their families just put them out, you know, because they don't know what to do. And especially when you're dealing with young children, young challenges, because we have that as well. It's not all adults, it's young people. So let's think about that and keep prayerful. You know, I'm always praying about these situations too, but let us think about what we can do, gather more resources. And Pastor Boone, if you have the address to there, can you forward that to us? And all of us will have that in our email. Okay. And
I have a feeling at the pastors meeting and prayer with the mayor, I have a feeling this will come up in discussion of what you're seeing in your congregation, like where what are issues that you're seeing, or what are your concerns. I have a feeling we're going to hear this again. I really feel
you will
about that.
You will. Thank you. And that's why it's so important to include these pastors, because some of them do. And like my husband is a social worker. That's how we got to Adrian. So he has some resources that have helped down through the years. And so some of the other pastors do have degrees, and some of them are actually willing to help and assist when they can. All right, so we're going to open it up for public comments at this time.
I have a quick comment.
Yes, who can you say your name and
Michelle
Where you
Dewey.
live?
I live
Oh,
in
Michelle,
Blissfield.
yes, yes, okay. Thank
I just
you.
wanted to mention to everybody that we are having a food drive on December 19th, Saturday, December 19th, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we're actually going to hold it in the parking lot of Country Market.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
we have an event page up on Facebook. And actually, I can send the link to you if you want
Please
to
do.
send it out to everyone.
Yes,
Wanted to
please send
mention
it to
that.
all of us. Yes. I was gonna ask you about the food bank. So I'm glad you spoke up about that. Yes. Okay, Mayor, did you want to comment on that? Okay, all right.
Nope,
And so
she
you
did it.
said what time is it going to start?
It's from 9 to 5 that day.
9 to 5. Okay.
Yep.
And that's in Country Market, right?
Yep, in their parking lot. We'll have at least one city truck out there.
Okay,
And
excellent.
WLEN
Now,
will be doing a live remote in the morning.
oh, excellent. Okay, so now is that canned foods, fresh vegetables, all of it, everything, staples, what?
Non-perishable. Anything that's
Non-perishable,
not perishable. Yep.
non-perishable.
And we do
Okay.
that because we don't deliver the food till January because that tends to be when we've noticed the food pantries go into more need. They've gotten through the holidays. They kind of get a lot during the holidays. And then it seems like in January is when they're really needing more food and people just aren't donating. It's not the holidays at that time. So we deliver that in January, and then that gives them that extra push, hopefully to get through the winter.
That sounds good. Well, we're gonna need food whenever we can get it, especially what people are getting put out of their homes and people are moving forward. Any other public comments? Anyone? If not, then I will go to commissioner comments.
One comment I have is just that we have a Christmas tree that is going to be shared in Comstock Park by the HRC and the A3 Coalition, and I guess we need to decorate that soon. We can start decorating anytime starting Thanksgiving. I don't know what do we want to do? Is there anything specific? I mean, I had an idea of taking taking and like everybody sends in different words that make them think of HRC or phrases or like community like advocacy, like what we do, or I don't know. I'm just throwing a lot of different ideas out there, but I feel like really telling people like what we're about. So it could, it just could be so one of the things could be, I'm just going to use an example. It could be like, bridging the divide, undoing racism. Like we can just start using everything that we've done in the past, things we're doing now. Mental health, like trying to get better mental health resources, whatever it might be. So that's why it might not just be a word. I don't know if you want to do it like that, or we just want to do, Christmas tree, ornaments, or what do you want to do? I guess I'm going to need some direction because like I said, I can help provide us, and then we just need to find a time to get out there to decorate. And it doesn't have to be all of us because I know Sister Pat can't leave, and some people might be in quarantine or whatnot, and I'm not really sure. And, even if it's just a couple, like it doesn't take long to do. But I guess I'm just needing direction on like what direction do we want to go? And I guess D'Angelo, I would ask you in that, like what do you want with all about Adrian, like where are you seeing that direction since we're sharing it? We can't hear you, D'Angelo. You're talking, but we can't hear you. It's weird. You're not muted though. Still can't hear you. That's so weird. We did hear you perfectly fine.
Sometimes when that happens, you have to disconnect and come back on.
Go out and come back in.
He's going to do that, he said.
Yeah.
Okay, while he's waiting to go out and come back in, someone else have some comment?
Well, Mayor, I do like the idea of the words, because it
Mhm.
promotes this particular group and it's something different that people would see, that would drive by, it would attract interest. If you had big letters and glittery, sparkly, so
Mhm,
that it stands out, and
Mhm.
short phrases, bridging the
Right.
divide, undoing racism, catchy little things that people, when they drive by, see it and they know that's the tree from the Human Relations Commission. I think that'd be wonderful. And then
yeah,
if
because there
you're
will be a sign that says whose
Mhm.
tree it is, so they will
Yeah,
know whose tree it is
it'd be
too.
cool.
Mhm.
I like that idea as well. And they have different colored lights at Lowe's.
Well, they
Angela.
light them for us. We don't have to worry about that.
Oh,
The
okay.
city lights them. They're all being lit right now. So, yep.
Oh yeah,
I-
that's right.
Yeah, and
But
I think, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead.
The most important thing is that we have something that we can display, and that if we're going to do words, that would be wonderful because it's a lot easier to do the
Mhm.
words and uh,
Mm.
get the sparkles on. And so what we need then, I can't get out in the weather myself right now,
No, you
Mhm.
better not.
so I have to guard my life. So
Yeah.
what we would want to do is get a couple of volunteers that are willing to participate, and then go from there, because it doesn't matter who does it, it still represents all of us. Okay. So if we can get whoever would like to volunteer, get that information to the mayor, because she's going to set the day and the time for setting it up and putting it together.
And I'll work with
If
D'Angelo
unless
on
you
that as well, since A3
Okay,
Coalition.
and what I'm thinking is maybe it could be a project for some of the young people,
Yeah.
the homeless shelter, for Lindsay Patton, to have that as a project that they can make the signs for us,
Yeah.
and do the glitter and everything. So if you need supplies, we can probably get the supplies to you and let them do it for us, and we put it on our tree, you know. So
I will, before I get excited about anything, ladies, I will let you know after tomorrow if I'm even available to help you. Okay?
Okay.
Because of
Thanks.
Well,
all
even
this.
if you can't, if they can do it at the shelter, uh,
Oh,
if at the
I'm,
shelter under an art event,
yeah, I'm,
that's what I'm talking about.
yeah,
If they
yeah.
do the words and they do the glitter and put it,
Mhm.
the words together, and we just have someone else to put it up, then
Yep.
we don't have to be out in the cold or having to meet again, because they're already in a group, and they could probably do it with your assistance. How about that?
Um, I'm sure they would love to do it.
Okay. All
And
right. So
I
let the
know
mayor know.
Angelo is trying to get volume. Michelle said she still couldn't hear him.
Okay.
But so we may not hear him, but I have his number and I will connect up with him. So I'm not worried about that. So I'll make sure
Okay.
and do that.
Can somebody get him on the phone now? And
I
he
tried
can just
texting him. He
be,
didn't text me back. So
well,
can he
if you call him and he can talk, we can
he
still
can
see
call
him if,
in he can call in using the audio. So if he just
yeah,
calls in on his
oh,
phone.
there's a
okay.
call in
Use the
there.
audio. Okay, good, good. Okay, so somebody let him know that he can call in on the audio if
I'll
he can't be
message
seen.
him and check that with him.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so anyone that is able to meet with the mayor and be outside and put all the signs up, and then Commissioner Patton, you would have to get with the mayor to set up the amount of time that it's going to take to get those signs all done. If you can't get it done, we can probably get some children to do it, but I'm sure they would love to help out, at the homeless shelter. I'm sure. Okay, just
Okay,
let us know.
I'll get in contact with you, Angela, and I'll get in contact with Emma or Helen, okay?
Thank you, thank you,
Yep.
and just let us know. Well, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll
No.
let you all handle that. All
Yep.
right. Any other commissioner comments? Okay, our time is up.
You guys hear me
Our,
now?
Yes.
Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay. All right, awesome.
Okay, so our meeting is over. I need a motion to adjourn, and we need to go into our next meeting.
Commissioner Ramos, I motion to adjourn the pre-meeting.
Okay,
Commissioner Boone, second the motion.
okay, and it's 7:02. We close out this meeting, and we will go into our next meeting. All right, already, all in favor?
Aye.
Or
Aye.
opposed? All right, so the motion was carried. 7:02, we have a motion to adjourn. All right, take a breath, and then we'll get started on the next meeting.
Mayor Heath?
Yeah.
I like the idea that you have for the Christmas tree and the decorations. So that's kind of what I put out there, is that we would take a lot of the events that have been going on in the community, and we'll put that together. And I'm talking with Paulette Paulette Rulo, who lives on Erie Street, and she's really good with arts and crafts, about making up the designs for it that will represent the coalition.
Nice.
And I think
Oh.
it's not, because D'Angelo, I think it's cool if like they look different. So like if Lindsay were to work on the HRC ones on her end, and then we intermix them, since it's
Yeah.
a shared tree, I would really, that sounds amazing. So
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
stay in touch with you. I have your phone number, and we'll
Okay.
get it figured out. Thanks.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, everyone, I'm calling to order the regular meeting of the Human Relations Commission, and it is 7:04. And let us stand for Pledge of Allegiance and word of silence. I have a flag behind my chair. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, everyone, this meeting is called to order, and we would like to have the meeting minutes approved for October 27th, 2020.
We have to do roll call first. Sorry.
Roll call, I'm so sorry. All right. Secretary Lindsay Patton. Commissioner.
Mayor Heath,
Present.
Commissioner Bernard,
Present.
Commissioner Ramos,
Here.
Commissioner Franks absent, Commissioner Boone,
Present.
Commissioner Barron, absent. Commissioner Carter,
Present.
Commissioner Harvett.
Present.
All right, Commissioner Patton, you have to say your name
Oh.
and say you agree.
Oh, Commissioner Patton is present.
Thank you for the record. All right, so our excused absence is Commissioner Frank and Commissioner Barron. Let us have a motion now for the accepting of the agenda for tonight.
Commissioner Harvett, I move that we accept the agenda for this evening.
Commissioner Ramos, I second that.
All right, we have a motion to accept the agenda for this evening. And are you ready for the question? A roll call.
Roll call.
Roll
Yep.
call. Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Heath.
Yes.
Commissioner Bernard,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramos,
Yes.
Commissioner Patton, yes. Commissioner Boone,
Yes.
Commissioner Carter,
Yes.
Commissioner Harvat.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so now we have the minutes from the October 27th meeting. I need a motion to approve with necessary corrections.
I motion to approve the minutes of October 27th, 2020.
Have a second?
Commissioner Harvat, I second.
All right, we have a motion to accept the minutes for approval with necessary corrections of October 27th, 2020. Are you ready for the question? Roll call.
Mayor Heath,
Yes.
Commissioner Bernard,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramos,
Yes.
Commissioner Patton, yes. Commissioner Boone,
Yes.
Commissioner Carter,
Yes.
Commissioner Harvat.
Yes.
It's unanimous, passes unanimously.
Thank you. All right, are there any additions or changes to the agenda? Anything anyone would like to add to the agenda tonight? Hearing none, we will move forward. All right, our regular meeting tonight, we are going to talk about some of the HRC current issues and updates, the things that we would like to do. In our pre-meeting, we talked a little bit about finishing the year. The one thing that we will be having is a meeting with the mayor on December the 1st for pastors and ministers meeting to talk with the mayor, to share some of the ideas and to deal with some of the issues facing our city. That is one of the issues that we are having to help us to bridge the communication between the community and the city. And we just like to say that we are on target for that meeting on Tuesday at 12 to 1. If you have any of the pastors that you know would like to participate, if you would let us know, and we will send an invite out to them because we will be on a Zoom meeting for that event. Any questions or comments? All right, if you have names of pastors you would like to participate, please let the mayor know and let me know as well. All right, any other updates of information that we would like to share on dealing with homeless, dealing with the mental challenges, and also dealing with substance abuse? Sister Harvat, Commissioner, would you like to share with us some of the things that you were talking about in the
mental
pre-meeting?
health. Oh, yeah. Well, mental health is definitely an issue that we've heard so much about, even personal families that have contacted us about people that are severely depressed and committing suicide. So I have all the names of the different superintendent and principals here in the area that I will be calling to see what is the status of their students and what do they do if they do observe that there is a mental illness involved. And then it was suggested that I contact Mr. Castleberry, who's quite interested in mental health here in the city. So hopefully I can pursue that in the next couple of weeks.
Thank you so much for your report.
And I actually
Commissioner.
got confirmation during right as the pre-meeting was ending, my phone dinged and I got confirmation, and I have another big meeting next week with this resource that I've been talking to in Chicago. So she wants to talk again. And so we actually have a meeting next week.
Excellent.
So I will be getting back
Excellent.
to you on that. I've been waiting for her to get back to me, and it happened so she must have known we were talking about her, but because we wanted to do some more follow-up and get more in depth. So that's actually occurring next week. So I will let you know how we're looking for our next HRC meeting for her.
Okay, just tell us a little bit about her and what she does in Chicago so that people are aware of who we're talking about.
Her name is Arloa Sutter, and she started and now runs a huge advocacy center. I don't know. I don't even know. It's so encompassing. I'm not sure what to call it, but it's called Breakthrough Urban Ministries. And they do a lot of youth programming. And I mean, they've kind of gotten out into many different avenues, tutoring. It's more than just, they have looked at homelessness and the whole family, and how to assist the entire family, and helping people integrate back to the workforce, and just all of those. But it's also, it also is a shelter. They also have a very large food pantry there as well. It's just kind of all encompassing. It's a very, very large operating system now at this point. It started out very
Good.
small, but now it is grown into something pretty amazing and big. And they even have for the youth, so they can experience like travel sports. They have figured out like even travel teams for, like, they actually will take like basketball teams and take them. They coach them right there, and they will actually take them to a few tournaments a year just so they can get that experience as well. So it's very fast forward thinking. I mean, she was way ahead of her time when this got going, and it's really taken off. And I just think she would have a lot of valuable resources for us, because I know that they work with mental health and substance abuse advocacy groups, and therapists and things like that. Also, that's also a part of them. So I just think she could give us a lot of insight, and at least get us started in a direction of what we can do to help our population.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Commissioner Patton, did you want to share about the shelter and how they're open and what you're doing with them right now?
They're open 24/7 now. And so I've started doing the activities with them. They seem to receive it very well. I had 7 or 8 folks down there with me the other day. Yes, if anybody would like to donate anything, their time or any items, or even just ideas for activities, anything would be appreciated.
Thank you so much. All right. Commissioner Boone, do you have anything that you would like to say about the areas that you're working with?
I don't have a whole lot to report at this time. I'm grateful that the Sherwood is open. I know that myself and Mayor Heath, we've talked about some ideas regarding the homeless population, and some things that we could work on and look at that may be a little bit outside the box as well. So just still just kind of working at and looking to develop those ideas, and hopefully come back with something more concrete.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Ramos.
I got a hold of Fran, and we talked a little bit about the home ownership loan and a few other things. Right now, they're still in that transitional period between first federal and being premier, so they don't even have a packet up. I had wanted to get a copy emailed to me, but they don't have that yet. So
Okay.
more information when I have it, but we did talk about quite a bit, and pretty much everything is similar to what was before. Though they do have an embargo as a building, as I think it says more buildings. But anyways, she's not allowed to use Zoom. None of them are. So we'll have to figure out something else if we ever did do that during this time. but a lot of it for them is, well, for her is they're still in transition. So though she can give us the information, there's not a whole lot of presenting
Okay.
that can be done at the moment.
Okay, so we'll just let you keep in touch with them and keep us informed, okay? Commissioner Carter, do you have something that you would like to share with us about?
Yeah, no, I don't really have any new information up to date at this point.
Well, we appreciate you continuing to work on those areas where you can. And I would just like to say that Commissioner Franks was working with the police, and we are going to try really hard to keep the bridging the divide between the police and the city. She's also going to be working with some of the people that were on our forum. And I am definitely working with the sheriff. He is open, the chief is open, and I think after that particular meeting, that forum, they felt more comfortable having the next one. So we're going to be thinking about planning something. If you have some ideas you would like to bring to her attention or my attention, please let us know, especially to the mayor, because the mayor is our focal point, making sure that we do what we need to do for the city. And whatever we want to do, she's been quite open about allowing us to do those things that we can do to help bridge whatever we can within this community. So if there's nothing else, we want to talk about the next thing is the town hall meeting. We're going to take out the date that we had for January and not even consider that date, which was January 14th, because we need to have another meeting prior to having a town hall event. So what we have come up with at the pre-meeting is having a possibility of February the 18th, 2021, having a town hall on a Thursday. We're going to meet in January at our regular meeting to talk about what ideas we would like to bring to the table for this town hall meeting. So if you all have any concerns or questions or comments that you would like to make at this time, what would you like to see us deal with for the first town hall meeting? I know some of us were discussing at the last meeting that we had how some of the questions that we gave the law enforcement were questions about homeless and the shelter and also mental illness and all of those areas that we were asked to take into consideration to assist with. So if we want to make it a broader scope, or do we want to narrow it down to one item that we want to address at the town hall meeting?
I feel like that's a good starting point.
Which is one item instead of trying to do with all three areas. Okay, so what would you suggest? Please let me know which area would be the one thing that you would think would be the top ticket. Would it be the homeless? Would it be the mental health? Would it be substance abuse? And I know there's a combination of things that will come out of all of those groups dealing with all three areas. But if we want to focus on one thing, then we will have speakers or we will have people invited to participate that will be part of one area more than the other. So which would you all want us to consider more than the other? In other words, what is our top challenge for this community right now?
I don't know if I could say that there is a top one. I think we're kind of challenged with a lot of them. I would like to know. I know that we're working towards the homeless, dealing with the homeless population currently right now. But I would like to see or to address some of the mental health.
Okay.
And that's where I was going to go with that too. I feel like a lot of it, they're intertwined anyways. I feel like much of that is, but I just think that we are, especially because if we are still in the pandemic or maybe just coming out of it, I think we're going to be still seeing, and we've seen such an uptick in mental health
Yes.
issues. And I feel like we're seeing them in all populations. It's literally all encompassing for our entire community. It does not matter if you're rich, poor, what's your racial, ethnic background, not anything. That does not matter when it comes to mental health.
Mhm.
Everybody's being affected by the fact there's no resources here. It does not matter even if you have insurance or not. There's nothing here. And
Right.
I feel like that is almost I don't like rating them, but I feel like that is the top. I agree with D'Angelo. I just feel like that's the top thing right now. And just in our community as a whole, I guess.
Well, I think the rating is only for us to decide which one challenge we will take at the beginning of the town hall. And I think even though we make a decision to focus on one area, it's going to bring in all of the areas anyway. But we want to maybe try to get some resolve. We have to focus on an area that we can get some resources and information and all of the things that we can do to make it a little bit better. So if I'm hearing us right, then we want to so far focus on more of the mental challenges that people are facing in our community right now. Is that
Yes,
an
Yes.
agreement
Mhm.
with all?
Yes,
Agree.
correct.
All right. So if that is what we want to do for the town hall meeting, what I will do is I will meet with the mayor, get some guidelines as to how we're supposed to handle a town hall meeting with this as our theme. If you come up with a specific theme that you have in mind that you would like us to, think about, because this like bridging the divide, it really focused on what we were trying to accomplish. So if we have something, think about that. Can you forward it to me? And please don't wait until we make a decision and we've got it all set up before you tell me what your thinking is. Please share that with me as soon as possible, because I've already set in motion the thought of how we're going to um, reach out and touch others, that resources, how we can get some resources. If you have resources or you know of any resources, please let us know. So I'm going to try my best to contact the state level and see how some people in other communities are doing as well, to deal with these challenges. So if we're going to put this together, um, do you give me permission to work on it and then get back with you all and forward information back to you all while we're off in December? If we have some information, we can give it to you. And then up until January. And then in January, we will finalize everything at our meeting in January. Is that
Mhm.
okay with everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. So is that an agreement I heard too?
Yes.
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 Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm not working by myself. I'm going to work directly with the mayor and set it up. And if it's a Zoom meeting, which is what I'm anticipating it to be, a Zoom meeting, because I don't see us being out completely by then
Right.
we can work really hard to put it together and then we will get your approval before we finalize anything. If you have any concerns or questions, then we will work around that, okay? So that means that those that were working, and Commissioner Carter, you were one of the ones working with the mental uh, challenges as well. So if you would get some resources for us in Lenawee County, and Sister Harvette, if you would get some
Yeah,
resources, information, and all of us can, but I'm saying you all chose
right.
those areas. If you would get those resources and information to me, and the
Okay.
mayor, then we can start pulling it together and setting it up, and getting the people that will be able to talk to us and tell us how to deal with some of these challenges, because that's really what it's about. How do we handle the
Hmm.
situation? And I know we're going to hear from some of the pastors as well. So let's just move forward, and we will work towards the 18th. Like I said, we can always change that date. That's a tentative date, February the 18th. But we can certainly change it if we need to. Okay. All right. Any comments, Mayor Heath? Okay. All
Nope.
right. Any other questions from any of the commissioners on this subject? Okay. So we're going to target the next meeting that we're going to have as a town hall meeting. The theme of it, we will come up with by the next meeting that we have in January. And we will be focusing on the mental challenges and mental um, uh, challenges of our community. Okay. It's not just a certain age. It's not a certain group. Like the mayor said, we're, this goes just like the pandemic. It does not discriminate. It goes across the board. So how can we help? So that means we probably need to bring in someone that deals with the youth, someone that deals with seniors, someone that deals with, especially now with this pandemic, because a lot of people are dealing with those challenges that uh, Commissioner Harvette mentioned about families having people committing suicide. We've had a lot of that this year in this community. All of the funeral homes have dealt with that. So we may even need to bring some of them in to be a part of what they see in their businesses. Okay. So with that in mind, we'll focus on the town hall for February, and we will work really, really hard to put that together and have it ready to go in our January meeting. Any other comments or questions on that? Okay. If not, then we are done with our meeting, and we're going to open it up for public comment. Hearing no comments from the community or public, we'll open it up to commissioner comments. No commissioner comments? Well, I guess we're on a roll tonight, huh? I guess we said all we had to say
I
in the
think we
earlier
talked.
meeting. Okay. Well, I'd just like to thank everyone for participating this 2 days before Thanksgiving. I appreciate all of you and your work with the Human Relations Commission. And working with the mayor has been so much easier than some, I can say. She is right there with us every step of the way, and we really appreciate that.
And
So, of course,
thank you, Andrea, for your leadership with the group. We like that and we appreciate it. And carry on with all the good work you're doing with us.
well, thank you so much. It's my goal to make us all a team, and that's what we are working towards, making this a better community. So the announcement that we do have for today is, remember that we're going to be having a food drive. The city is having the food drive, and that's going to be December the 19th at 2020, and it's from 9 to 5. It's going to be at Country Market, and anyone that has non-perishable foods can bring them. WLEN will be participating, and so this food drive is going to help us and help our community to feed some people in January. So we do appreciate that, Michelle Dewey, for sharing with us, and Mayor sharing that opportunity for us to be able to give. And I know the food is going to be going to the pantries in the community. Is that right?
Yep, it's split evenly and distributed to all the food pantries, and then that way it's across the whole community.
Wonderful, wonderful. And in your experience, have you had something that you came short of that you needed? Maybe there's something that we could bring and tell people what they should bring.
I mean, usually the staples, peanut butter is a big one because it can be expensive and it goes a long ways. So peanut
Okay.
butter, any canned goods. Sometimes if you want to donate things that people don't get a lot in food pantries that they want is coffee. Coffee is a big one too.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Not
from
necessarily-
delivering last year, I think I heard coffee the most out of everything.
Okay.
Really?
That was something they
Okay.
really
Huh.
enjoyed. And just as a side note, not necessarily this is part of a food drive, but I do know that many of them also told us that they always enjoy getting any toiletry items if you can pick them up, and drop them at your local pantry. Those are things that they need a lot too. So.
Okay, so then if we are doing staples and we're doing coffee, 'cause I'm not a coffee drinker, I don't think of coffee. I'm the tea person. But even with that, we will definitely put that out there and let people know these are some items that they can assist us with. And we look forward to making sure that everything gets done. All right, everyone. I will call the meeting to a close with open for a resolution to close.
I
Commissioner
motion to
Corbett,
adjourn the
I'm-
meeting. Commissioner Ramos.
I second
I have-
Commissioner Corbett.
All right, I have a second and I have a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh,
Aye.
all opposed? All right, the ayes have it. Have a safe Thanksgiving and
Thank you.
remember-
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right.
keep
Be
us
safe,
in your
Take care.
everybody,
prayers as well.
and
Stay
be
safe,
well, Andrea.
everyone.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you.
For you.
We're getting better. We're getting
Good.
stronger every day.
Good.
All right. Take care. Bye.